Doc is not the only one that can wear a hat around here, all right? It's your boy Cam. It's your boy Doc, the Hall of Famer. Doc, what's up, dude? You ready to talk some fantasy ball with the people?
Yes. I'm ready to break down some news. I'm ready to talk about Paul George. You know I love talking about Paul George.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime that I can sit around talking about Paul George, I mean, that is just a good day.
You know what? I'm in pajama pants right now. You know how cool it is to just sit and do a show in pajama pants? We're worldwide. I'm wearing pajama pants right now. I think that's pretty cool. I don't want to know what you're wearing because if I asked that question, that would come off as very, very weird and cringy.
No. I'm glad you brought that up though, because there's been literally it's crossed my mind 1,000 times to just like I'm gonna go do this show in my underwear, but that would be the day. That would be the day that my cat would come in here and knock everything off the desk, and I'd have to get up and run around, and then my underwear would be on video, and so I always have the shorts or the sweats on, 100%.
Dude, your what do they call them? The tidy whities would go viral for sure. It would actually probably help visibility for the show.
It would probably blows up, yeah.
But we are Cam and Doc. Obviously, we're in skits and bits mode already. All right, so let's first of all, I want to tell you guys, if you're watching us live on Twitter, we really appreciate you guys. Just a heads up, not every off-season episode is going to be on this platform. Most of them will, but not all of them. If you want to be totally in the loop, digest, consume, and devour, all that me and Doc put out all off-season, please subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed to catch every episode and stay in the loop. All right, Doc, we got the news that I've been waiting for, that you've been waiting for, that Spurs fans have been waiting for. Victor Wembanyama has been cleared, Doc. He had the deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder, limited him to 46 games last year. He's been totally cleared to play. Doc, it's the middle of July. We're not getting this report in August. We're not getting this report like on the lead up to media day. We're getting this report in July, which probably means that Victor Wembanyama has been good to go for a while. So you kick us off here, dude. Is he now the the undisputed number one pick in fantasy ball over Nikola Jokic, SGA, and Luka?
Well, to me, it's an argument between SGA or between Jokic and Victor Wembanyama. And those are the two guys. I mean, if you want to dominate, if you want to win, if Wemby plays in 72 games and you have him and you don't totally F up the rest of your draft, you're going to win the league. I mean, it's just that simple. And Jokic is sort of the same way, but the Wemby threes and the Wemby blocks just put him in a different stratosphere. So to me, this makes me want to take Wemby number one. But Jokic was so good again last year that anybody who takes Jokic over Wemby, especially given the Wemby injury, I'm not mad at anyone who takes Jokic first. And Jokic probably should be first based on his history. I mean, he's earned that. But if I get the number one pick, I'm probably going Wemby again.
What do you think my answer is here?
I think your answer is Wemby because 5 months ago or 3 months ago, you said, I'm going to need a report. And I'm not talking about just a report that he's looking good. I need a report that he's good to go. And then I'm back in on Wemby. That's what I think. But I think if Jokic wasn't so good, I wouldn't feel bad about it. But it almost feels disrespectful to Nikola Jokic to be sitting here saying he should not be the number one pick. It should be Wemby. But that's where I'm at.
You're absolutely right, Doc. This is the report I needed to see. I was really geeked. Andre gave me a Dre bomb on this one and sent me the news. And I was like, and obviously, because he has Wemby in the Cam dynasty, now it's personal for him. And he's a huge Spurs fan. So now it's all in the family over there. angels are singing. Monks are doing monk stuff. It's all happening over there. Okay. So Andre's very psyched about that. And it's it's funny because Andre just traded for Wemby, and bam, we get the news that he's good to go. So maybe like now he would have had to give up more for Wemby because he traded for him when it was still kind of murky and all that. Anyway, it's just so shrewd by Andre. But yeah, I think Wemby's the number one pick in fantasy basketball right now, Doc. I do. Jokic is going to be phenomenal. I think Jokic is going to win the MVP award this upcoming season. I do. I think Denver's going to be kick-ass. They're going to win 55 games. Jokic is going to average triple-double, and he will be the MVP. Doc, I also believe, we haven't talked about this. I believe Wemby's going to enter the MVP conversation next year because the Spurs have a loaded roster. The Spurs, barring a rash of injuries, are going to be in this. And I'm not saying they're going to be 1, 2, or 3 in the West, but they're going to be a factor. I mean, they're not going to be I look at them above the middle. I'll say it that way. So I don't know what else to say, man. Victor Wembanyama is the best fantasy basketball player that's ever been. There's never been a better NBA player in the fantasy space than Victor Wembanyama. So how do you take anybody over that guy when that guy is healthy? So Wemby's the guy, Doc. Wemby's the guy. Jokic is the deuce.
I feel like we knew this when we saw him try that soccer bicycle kick. When I saw that, I'm like, all right, he's good to go. I mean, Andre said it gave Spurs and their fans heart attacks, but all it told me was that Wemby's healthy. If you got a problem, you aren't out there doing bicycle kicks at 7'4", whatever he is.
Doc, Wemby's healthy, bro. This is gigantic news, man. Like, we can dream big about the Spurs. Wembanyama is going to win Defensive Player of the Year as long as he plays 65 games. Like, it's all happening, dude. It's super exciting stuff. Okay, let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks here. Doc, got a couple of news pieces here. I'm going to read them both to you, and you take it and run with it and give us the fantasy spin. Derek Lively underwent surgery on his right foot. He's now in a protective boot. Surgery on his right foot in July, mid-July. Not good. Shams Charania said the procedure was done to clean up bone spurs in his right foot. The expectation is he should be ready for the start of training camp in late September. Mark Stein reported that the handling of Lively's injury led to a disagreement between members of the Mavs medical staff. 4 staff members, including Director of Athletic Performance Keith Belton, were dismissed in May. So does this surprise anybody that you've got a Keystone Cops scenario with Nico Harrison's Dallas Mavericks? I mean, that's so on brand. It's unbelievable. And the dude had to get cut about their malpractice with Derek Lively. Like, oh my God, are you serious right now? Doctors still screw up, I guess. And then, Doc, you have Nico Harrison. Again, every time he opens his mouth, I feel like a lie's coming out. That's just where I'm at with this guy right now. But Nico Harrison said Monday, Kyrie Irving is ahead of schedule in his recovery from a torn left ACL. That's funny, Doc, because wasn't it a week ago that Kyrie Irving was like playing video games or something, and he said, don't hold your breath on me playing this year. So chew on those two things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, why, even if it's true, which I doubt that it is, I don't think we're going to see Kyrie Irving for a long time. If he plays at all this year, it's not going to be until, after the All-Star break. So why even feed those flames in July? Like, why even bring his name up? Like, I don't understand that. The Keystone Cops with Derek Lively's foot. It's funny. I had never really had a surgery until last September. My wife had never had one until last July. And I used to hear, oh, he's having foot surgery. He should be ready for the beginning of the season. It was like, oh, cool. He'll be fine. But having gone through some of these surgically related stuff, it's really not that simple. I mean, your body has to react to it correctly. You have to not have any problems. in between now and then, and it has to heal the way they think it's going to heal, because just because they think it's going to do one thing doesn't always mean that that's what it's going to do. So it makes me a little nervous, and maybe it boosts Daniel Gafford's stock a little bit. I don't think a ton, but a little bit, because even if Lively misses training camp, you have to think, like, worst case scenario, he's back by Christmas, right? Which is officially the non-NBA fans' opening day. Like, non-NBA fans are like, oh, Christmas Day is here. Now I can start watching basketball. So worst case scenario, he's going to be back by then. So I don't think it's not like a Richter scale hit or anything, but it's something to monitor for sure. Like, before my draft, I want to make sure Lively is running and doing basketball activities at least. You're muted, bro.
I loved what you said about Nico, because I had that thought as well. Why are you saying this? You dumbass. Why? Dude, do you remember when David Griffin came out with an injury timeline for Zion Williamson? I mean, he did it 8 times, right? Because Zion, all these major injuries with Zion. But there was one particular time where Griff came out and it was so off. It was like, he'll be back. It was like one of the meniscus deals he's had. I forget. But it was like, oh, he'll be back in 3 to 5 months. It was like 10 fucking months, dude. It was like 10 months. It was like double. It was like, and dude, I freaking love David Griffin, but I was like, Griff, why are we putting timelines on Zion, bro? Like, don't do that. Because then it gets the media, the fans, and then they're like, the clock is ticking. And when it hits that marker, everybody's like, where the hell is he? It makes everybody look bad. So, Doc, how's Kyrie taking this? Ahead of schedule. I don't feel like Kyrie Irving and Nico Harrison are on the same page right now. I just don't. Kyrie just said, don't hold your breath on me playing this year. And then a week later, we get the GM saying he's ahead of schedule. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it's the Mavericks. This is how they roll. It's bizarro land down there. Is Kyrie Irving even a late draft thought for you? Are you just like, is he completely dead and off your radar? Somebody else will take him in the 9th round. It won't be you. Is that where you're at with Kyrie?
Pretty much, yes. And to me, I'm putting him over there in that box with Halliburton and Dame and Jason Tatum.
Copy that. I'm with that. And then on Lively, Doc, I like what you said. It doesn't, like, a torn ACL is catastrophic. This isn't catastrophic. It's not good, though. I think it drops Lively's value. I think it does up Gafford's value, maybe 5-7 spots. Let me go to my center rankings, Doc. I've been ambitious over the last couple of days, dude. I have been in rank mode. So I do have I've got
some updated rankings.
Like I threw out that top 50 that I did like a month ago before all the offseason. We just threw it out. It was garbage. And I've got centers, forwards, and guards. And now I'm going to build probably a top 100 or top 120, whatever I decide to do. But I'm looking where I have Gafford right now. I've got Gafford in a cluster, Doc. I've got him at 27. I've got Khalil Ware, Naz Reid, Pirtle, Bobby Portis, Nick Claxton, Jay Huff, Danny Gafford, Okongwu, Draymond, Edey, Lively. And then I've got Aldama, Bona, and then you start getting into some backups. So I don't really think I'm dropping Lively. I think I already kind of built in where I may put Aldama over Lively now. All right. But I still would rather have Lively than Bona or Filipowski or Wendell Carter Jr. or Brooke Lopez. So I kind of already had Lively really, really low. And when I bump up Danny Gafford over, I'd probably put him over Huff at this point. I don't know if I'd put him over Claxton. So I honestly don't see a lot of movement on my center board with this news.
So you have Lively at 27 in your centers rankings, right?
Was that, I think it was, 31.
31. So that
31.
That means in a one center 12-man league, like you're just taking Lively as a backup and just an end of the bench guy anyway.
That's it.
I'd rather have Adam. Is it Adem? However you say his name, Bona.
Yeah, Adem. Yep, Adem Bona.
I'd rather have Adem Bona, honestly, because we all saw what he did last year when Embiid wasn't playing at the end of the year, and nothing makes me believe that Joel Embiid's going to play this whole season. So I think I would take a flyer on a guy like Bona before I would take Lively personally.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. I like that. Yeah, I'm with you on Kyrie. Where do I have Kyrie? Did I even rank Kyrie? I guess is the question. My guards are still. He's really, really low. My guards are still a little bit under construction. I've got a little bit of to do on my guards, but my centers and forwards are firmed up. Speaking of forwards, Doc, let's talk about your boy, Paul George. Doc gets so excited to talk about Paul George. I saw this report, and this is the most on-brand thing ever. This is like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson making an action movie. This is like Scorsese making a mob movie, okay? This is like Tarantino making the dopest movie you've ever seen. Tarantino's my favorite filmmaker of all time, and it's not even close. Dude, make a new movie, please. We love you out here.
He's done.
Tarantino's done?
I think so.
Why?
I hope not.
Why's he got?
He's my favorite too.
He's not dead. Why are you done?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, he's still alive. I see his stuff on Instagram. He's still alive. Make a movie, bro. Oh, man. Thank you for the body of work, Quentin Tarantino. All right, Paul George undergoes arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. Eye roll. He'll be reevaluated before the start of training camp. That's dubious to me. ESPN Shams Charania. George injured his knee during a recent workout. Dude, the guy can't even get through a fucking workout. Doc, he can't even get through a workout, let alone a practice or a scrimmage or a game or a playoff game or a season or half a season. He couldn't make it through an off-season workout, Doc. He played in 41 games last year. Dude, Daryl Morey is about to get fired over the Paul George signing. Daryl's my guy. He's a deadhead. I love Daryl Morey. Daryl's about to get fired about this, dude. You know why David Griffin was fired in New Orleans? I can tell you right now. Dyson Daniels is why he got fired. You know why Landry Fields got fired in Atlanta? Well, I had it and then I lost it. There was a move that he made. Oh, golly. It was like one. Why am I blanking on this? To me, Landry Fields got fired for drafting Reese O'Shea over Alex Sarr. Wasn't it kind of weird to you that Landry Fields got the job and then boom, he's fired like a year later? That's not how this goes. And so to me, and what did we say? What did we tell the world, Doc? Take Sarr, don't take Reese O'Shea. I was screaming from mountaintops that Sarr was the best player in that draft. They take Reese O'Shea anyway. I think Landry Fields got whacked because of that move right there. Anyway, sorry, thought bubble. But talk to me about Paul George, dude.
I think it was him that Charles Barkley was talking about. He goes, I don't know why they call him Playoff Paul. Might as well call me Championship Chuck. Oh my God. And that's so good. That's so great because, Charles Barkley is famous for a lot of things, but one of the things he's famous for is never having won a championship. There's that debate about who are the best players that never won a ring. And Charles Barkley and Reggie Miller are always leading that conversation. So,
Pat Ewing, bro. Don't forget my boy, Pat Ewing.
So calling himself Championship Chuck is, and comparing that to Playoff Paul is so funny to me. Playoff P. I don't know, dude. It's a bad omen for the upcoming Philadelphia 76ers season after several forgettable Philadelphia 76ers seasons. It's just more crap piled on top of a crap sandwich. And And you know, we know Joel Embiid's going to go down at some point, and then the whole tanking thing is on again, and then we don't get to see Tyrese Maxey. It's just a mess, a big old mess. And the fact that Paul George was the key piece in the SGA going to Oklahoma City steal of one of the worst trades of all time, right? And now he's in the middle of being another horrible trade. I don't. He's poison, dude. Poison pea.
Ooh. To me, he's one of the most overrated players of all time, Doc. Like you see on podcasts, like all these kids, these young ball players, like Paul George is my idol. I love Paul George. You hear that stuff, right? And I'm always like, how are you not saying? I mean, like we all have our opinions. It's subjective, right? Okay, Paul George is your guy. Like, pick a different hero, dude. Pick a hero. Pick an actual hero. Paul George ain't a hero. He's a hero to his family because he steals $60 million a year from NBA teams. That's why he's a hero. He's not a hero on the basketball. He's never won anything. He's not a hero.
He's a hero to his family.
He's a hero to his family. Give me a break. I put out a tweet when I saw this news, Doc. I said like something like podcast P, keyword being podcast, as in it's the only thing this guy's good for right now. And his podcast is pretty cool. The only thing Paul George is good for right now is his podcast. And pardon me, stealing money from NBA franchises and getting GMs whacked. Daryl Morey, watch your head, bro. Watch your head. This Paul George move is hideously horrible for Philadelphia. So let's stay on Paul George for a minute, Doc. All right. I want you grab a pen. You got a little piece of paper. Got a little pop quiz for you here. We're gonna rank a group right here, Doc. We got a Paul George group. This is a group of. I'm trying to cuss less, and I know I've already cussed a couple of times on this show. So Cam, it's a challenge. I'm talking to myself right now. I'm challenging myself to cuss less. I love cussing, but I'm challenging myself. So here's the group, Doc. Okay, it is a group of slop. I give you Paul George, Michael Porter Jr., Zion Williamson, Lauri Markkanen, and Brandon Ingram. It's the most hideously gross group we've ever ranked. Doc, you know why we're doing this? I'm not going to have any of those guys on any of my teams, okay? But you know what, Doc? We talked to thousands of people here on the Fantasy NBA today. Some of them might want to rock with some of these guys. So this segment is for you. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to rank those?
You go first. I'm looking for something real quick.
So out of this group, Doc, first I'm going to go Porter. I think Porter's going to get shut down when the Nets really hit tank mode in March, but he's the lesser of five evils here. At this point from here, Doc, I'm just kind of looking at upside, right? I can't rely on any of these guys. They're five of the most untrustworthy players around. Porter Jr. Has been trustworthy, but I think now with Brooklyn, he becomes untrustworthy. I'm going to go Markkanen next, Doc. So I'll go Porter, then Markkanen. I'm going to go Zion next. I'm going to go Paul George next, even with the surgery, Doc. And then I'm going Brandon Ingram. So I want Brandon Ingram to know, bro, I just ranked you below a guy that's getting cut, and we have no idea when he's going to play again. Brandon Ingram needs to know, I just ranked him below a guy that just had surgery, and we don't know when he's coming back. That's how bad it is with Brandon Ingram. Because what if Paul George is able to come back in November? Hey, what if Paul George is kind of sort of healthy this year? There's more of a chance. I still feel right now with Paul George getting cut, not knowing. I still feel right now, if you said who plays more games this upcoming season, Ingram or George, I say Paul George. It's like that. Whew. I mean, it's hard, dude. So Porter, Markkanen, Zion, George, Ingram. Doc, what'd you go get?
Sorry about that, brother. I did not want to leave you hanging for that long. That's my bad.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. You got a shirt? You got your Dyson Daniels jersey or what?
My number one pick is Michael Porter Jr. This is a jersey.
It's a jersey, right? Yeah.
This is a jersey, Rick.
It's a jersey.
That's my MPJ jersey that I won on some fantasy related bet 6 years ago. Yeah, I think Porter Jr. is the easy pick from that group. He may get shut down. Yes, he has back injury history. He's got other injury history, but he's been pretty reliable for the last few years. We don't really worry about him too much anymore. And now that we're not taking him, reaching for him in the 3rd round like I used to do, and he's going in like the 7th round where he belongs, he's a pretty safe pick. So I like that. MPJ is easily number 1 for me there, even though he's with the Nets. But maybe that's a good thing, man. Maybe we'll actually see the MPJ that we thought we were going to see 5 years ago. Now that he's kind of a beacon there by himself. So number 2 for me is going to be Lauri Markkanen. He blew up in FIBA a couple of years ago. Then he blew up in was it some off-season league he was in where he kind of blew up, and then he had a great preseason, carried it right through the regular season, and he's been a really good player ever since. You and I never trust him, never draft him because we know he's not going to make it through the whole season. But out of this group, I think Lauri Markkanen looks like the guy to me. I'll tell you who's last is Brandon Ingram. I haven't even seen that. I haven't seen that dude play basketball in years. Dude, I don't remember what he looks like. God.
Dude, when you went to get the jersey, I went on a diatribe about Brandon Ingram. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
I mean, I haven't seen him play basketball in forever. So I have and I still can't wrap my head around Toronto going all in on him. It's the craziest.
Dude.
That dude won the lottery, man.
That's why Masai Ujiri got fired at it. We were just talking about these guys. I literally think that's why he got fired. Isn't it mysterious, too, that Masai Ujiri got whacked? Like, how did he get whacked? I think he got whacked because the Brandon Ingram contract. And I think the owners were like, dude, what are you thinking? What, have you lost your mind? You're fired.
Are there reports out there about Ingram? Like, oh, he looks great in a Raptors uniform. Like, have we heard anything?
He's been cleared for basketball activities, but he's not, he's still got to ramp up and he's got to, take contact and all that stuff. But he's been cleared for basketball activities. Whatever that
means. Then that leaves me. So I've got my 1, 2, and my 5. So that leaves me with 3 and 4 between Paul George and Zion Williamson. This is a no-win situation. I'm taking Zion Williamson at 4 because of the upside. There is still untapped potential with Paul George. I mean, with Zion Williamson. So that leaves Zion at 3 and Paul George at 4. I screwed that up somewhere, and Paul George might be ready for training camp. We got Paul George maybe ready for training camp, and somehow Kyrie Irving is ahead of schedule. How do we even know what you're ahead of schedule in July when you're not supposed to be back till March? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I know. That's your point, Nico, man. When he opens his mouth, I feel like a lie's coming out. I'm telling you, dude. He starts talking. I'm like, here we go. Right? It's just immediate eye roll. Doc, I have the same exact ranking. Okay. Porter, Markkanen, Zion, George, Ingram. I want to thank you, Doc, for taking part in this grimy little group ranking. I mean, it's grimy, bro. We don't want any of these guys, but maybe some of you guys do.
Rick,
but Doc,
last year in my rock and roll league, my 3rd pick came up, and I just I panicked and I took Paul George. And as soon as I did that and I looked at it, I was like, I just lost. I just lost the league. I knew it as soon as I did it. I think it's fair to say that outside of Michael Porter Jr., those other 4 dudes are not going to be on any of my rosters. I hope.
Yeah. So we have, and Doc, I made this point when you were away. We have Brandon Ingram below Paul George. Paul George just got cut. Paul George, we have no idea when he's going to play again. And we are telling you right now, we would rather have that guy than Brandon Ingram. This is rock bottom for Brandon Ingram. I thought that he had already hit rock bottom. You know, bam, 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 bam. Like, bam. Like he just hit a new rock bottom here on the Fantasy NBA Today with Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We'd rather have Paul George than Brandon Ingram. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? All right, let's move on, Doc. Maxey. We got to talk about Maxey here because this Paul George news, which is huge, has major ripple effects to Tyrese Maxey. You alluded to it. It's something, earmuffs. I don't want to hear it, okay? But I had the same thought. Does this freaking mean that Philly's going to tank again and they're going to shut down Maxey again? And so all of my hopes and dreams and optimism and bullishness for Tyrese Maxey, is it all for naught? Am I going to go hard at Maxey, maybe late second round? And then, come around March, he's got an ankle injury and he's out 3 to 5 weeks and he'll be reevaluated on April 2nd, which is a week from the end of the regular season. It's really, really frustrating, dude. So I give you this, Doc, Curry versus Maxey. Who are you taking?
Curry. I've got Curry ranked ahead of Maxey in my top 50 that I did a month ago that I have yet to destroy and redo.
Dude, I'm like live on the air right now, and I'm conflicted because I bumped up. You know what? No, I acknowledge that it's a possibility that Philly tanks and they shut down Maxey again. I acknowledge that that's a possibility. I'm not going to put a lot of stock in that, Doc. This isn't Sam Hinkie. This isn't the trust the process era. Their ownership, Josh Harris, I just don't believe that he wants to go 20-62. I don't believe that. You've got a really, really deep team. Joel Embiid might play 45, 50 games. So I'm playing, what do they say? I'm playing it straight. I'm playing it straight with Maxey. So, Doc, what that means is I'm very high on Tyrese Maxey. I have Maxey above Curry. And so he has a better stat set. The steals are way higher. The threes aren't as much. He's got a better overall PRA, but the PRAs are close. It's really kind of about the steals. I would rather get the bump up on steals from Maxey than the bump up on the threes from Curry because he's at 3 threes. And Curry obviously is at 4.5. I'd rather have the 1.9 steals from Maxey than the 1.1 steals from Curry. That's the tipper right there. Tyrese Maxey or Devin Booker, Doc? Who are you taking out of those two guys?
I've got them in my rankings right next to each other. And you've been hyping up Booker, and I've sort of been drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. Like Cam might be right about this one. Like this could be a big Booker year. So kind of feeling that. And I think the fact that Maxey got shut down last year has dropped his value in our eyes coming into this season. I think you're going to be able to get Tyrese Maxey later than you could have had he played the whole season last year. So we're getting a discount on him. But something you said a minute ago, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you're like, maybe Joel Embiid plays 45 or 50 games. Like you said that as if that would be a great thing. Like that is as good as the expectation can possibly be for Joel Embiid. Not 60 games, not 65, not 70. Maybe Joel Embiid shows up for 45 games. I mean, that'd be great. That is pathetic. That is sad. If that's the case, if that's where we are, this team has no shot at winning anything ever. And they might as well just keep tanking until they get Joel Embiid out of their system. So I'm gonna go Booker.
You're going Booker. I got Maxey over Booker as well. Again, steals being the tipping point there. I think Booker's going to have a better PRA, but Maxey will have more threes. Booker's not a huge three-point shooter. He's 2.5, 2.6. He's not a 3+ three-ball guy. He's just not that guy. It's kind of weird, right? But he's not. A lot of mid-range from Booker. And so Maxey he's a better fantasy gold guy. Actually, he's a lot better fantasy gold guy than Booker. That's why I've got Maxey above him. And then one more, Doc, James Harden or Tyrese Maxey.
I'm going Harden.
And I'm going Maxey. Like I said,
I got all close though. I mean, I'm probably not high enough on Maxey. And I'm probably too high on Curry. So I don't want to be faced with that decision, but that's a decision we're all going to have to make in every draft, because it's going to get no matter where you pick, you're going to have to pick between some of these guys we just talked about at some point. And I don't know that there's necessarily a right or wrong answer, because Booker's numbers should go up. Maybe he will be a 3-3 guy this year. If Maxey plays in 78 games, then I think Maxey's the answer in all of these. I just don't know. I'm worried about Philadelphia. I'm worried about the vibe. I'm worried about the aura. I'm worried about the apparent curse they have working there right now. So it makes me nervous on Maxey. That's all.
Me too, man. Hey, it is Rick Kamla. It is Steve Alexander. He is a Hall of Famer. We are the Fantasy NBA today. I want to tell you guys about a couple of things here. All the news we cover on the show, we give you the fantasy goodies. It's already available on the sportsethos.com news feed before, and if it hits there before it hits there before anything else, including the fantasy impact, make sure to check it out and bookmark it. And if you're watching this live on Twitter, not all of our episodes are going to be available on this platform. Please head over to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and subscribe, plus subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed. We appreciate it. All right, Doc, we have some more groups to rank here. So go first on Domantas Sabonis, Evan Mobley, Jaren Jackson Jr., Chet Holmgren. Domas, Mobley, JJJ, and Chet. How are you stacking that group?
That is a good one. Oh, I caught up. I caught up on the syllabus. I'm with you now. Sorry about that. All right. I'm kind of down. I'm kind of out on Sabonis. No steals, no blocks, and it just annoys me drafting a big man that doesn't do those things. Evan Mobley had a great year, and I wish he didn't have to deal. I wish he was sort of like a lone gunman and didn't have some of the talent surrounding him that he has, so we could really see him be more selfish. I think that would be a good thing for him. All right, I'm going to rank these guys. I'm going Triple J, Mobley, Sabonis, and then Chet.
Very interesting. I would change that a little, actually a lot. My list is Mobley first, and I'll explain why. Then I have Sabonis. I'm still a Sabonis guy. Then Jaren Jackson Jr. and then Chet. I've got JJJ and Chet right next to each other in my power forward rankings. I think that those two guys are a good debate head to head with themselves. I can't put JJJ above Mobley, Doc, because of the injury that JJJ picked up. The foot injury, the toe injury, I think it was, in a workout about a month ago. Not expected to start the season on time. He might, but it's very murky. Just for that reason alone, Doc, I'll put Mobley ahead of JJJ. If JJJ were 100% healthy, I still may go Mobley, but it's a much like better debate right now. It's really not a debate for me because of the surgery. So I go Mobley, I go Sabonis. I mean, Doc, Sabonis is 20 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, I get it. There's no blocks, there's no steals, there's no threes. Totally get it. That sucks. But he is. I'm kind of just spitballing here. He might be a top 5 PRA guy in the whole league. You think Jokic? You think why am I blanking on this? Kate Cunningham's a great PRA guy. Kind of blanking, but Sabonis is an elite PR. Alpi Şengün's a very good PRA guy, as we know. So and I don't know, Doc, like fantasy gold is the most important stat set for a player. But to me, the second most important stat set for a player is PRA. So, okay, he's only a PRA guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's only a PRA guy. Like, okay, I mean, we need PRA. You need counting numbers. You have to win points, rebounds, and assists. Those are extremely important categories too. So I go Mobley, I go Sabonis, I go JJJ, and I go Chet. You just said, go ahead.
It's interesting because in my top 50 that I did, I have Sabonis higher than those guys. But if I'm sitting here looking at those 4 guys and deciding who I rather do, I never have Sabonis on my teams. I just don't draft him because of what we just talked about. He's a PRA guy, doesn't do anything else. So I always end up with somebody else. So maybe I'm being too hard on Sabonis. I don't know. Maybe Mobley should be my number 1 instead of Triple J. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm probably too hard on Sabonis. But he's just a guy that I never have him on any of my teams. The last time I did, I just didn't like it. I just don't like my big guys did not do big guy things.
You said you're out on Sabonis because of the lack of fantasy gold. Are you also out on Alpi Şengün because of the lack of fantasy gold? Because they're essentially the same fantasy player.
I'm not out on Alpi Şengün. I am not high on him like I once was. I will draft either one of those guys. I'm cool with having them, but I'm probably not going to get them because they'll go before I want to take them.
Understood. And I probably have a similar sensibility with that. It's kind of like, Doc, like we know who Sabonis is, but like this past year, like Alpi was an all-star, right? Like, so we've been getting to know him, and as a fantasy player, but it's kind of like, it's kind of disappointing, right? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're here. We know who Alpi is now, and he's not a 3-baller, not a blocker, not a stealer at all. Same as Sabonis. So when you're still on the way up, it's kind of an unknown and it's upside, but that upside is not coming to fruition. All right, Doc, another group to rank. And dude, I'm telling you right now, this is a hard group to rank. Tyler Hero, Austin Reeves, Josh Giddey, Darius Garland. In my ranking, that's why we created this group, because like I probably spent 15 minutes vetting that cluster of players right there for my rankings. Giddey, Hero, Reeves, Garland. How do you rank that group right there, Doc?
It's almost impossible to do. I really think any order that you gave me would A, not surprise me, and B, I wouldn't be mad about it, because I love 3 of these guys and I like the other one. So I'm gonna go Homer here because Giddy hit a home run for me last year. I went all in on Giddy, and he came through in a big way. And yeah, a lot of it was second half of the season. I don't care. I'm going Giddy 1 just because he's a triple-double threat every single night, and I like that. I'm going Tyler Hero 2 because he's the best player on the Heat as far as I'm concerned. I'm going Garland 3. And my boy Austin Reeves is down at 4. I'm going Reeves at 4 because he's got to deal with trying to outscore LeBron and Luka. And Darius Garland, to me, he's not great. He's not going to win you your league by himself, but he's solid. Like, he's just good all the way across the board. He doesn't really miss games, and he's just quality. So, Giddy, Hero, Garland, Reeves, reluctantly.
Very interesting. I also have Josh Giddey leading this group. Dude, I love Josh Giddey this year. I do. Chicago, like, they don't know what they're doing, right? They should just tank, but they can't do that. They don't know how. They're so scrambled. So he's going to be playing all year. I've got Giddey. What number is that? 14th right now. Doc, I've got Giddey at 14, Hero at 15, Reeves at 16. And then you kind of go down a little bit, and I got Garland down here, several spots down. So that's how I rank it. I go Giddey, Hero, Reeves, Garland. The reason why I have Garland is did he have surgery? Andre, help me out. I got so much injury stuff in my brain right now. What I know is that Darius Garland's probably not going to start the season on time because of the injury. Foot injury. I forget the injury, and I forget if he had to have surgery. I think he did have to have surgery. But for that reason, Doc, I've downgraded Garland. And it's like kind of temporary. I mean, I've got Garland below like Levine, FVV, Nebhard, Dyson Daniels, guys like that. And if I knew that he was going to play 70, 75 games, I would have him up here with Giddey, Hero, Reeves, and probably right below Reeves and ahead of Desmond Bane is where I expect to bump up Garland. But right now, it's like the Wemby thing. I had him in the 4 hole behind Jokic, Luka, and SGA. Boom, he's been cleared, good with the blood clotting and all of that. He's back to number 1. So Jaren Jackson Jr., Doc, if we get a report on him, fully cleared for basketball activities, there's really no doubt at all he'll be ready for opening night. Boom, he's going to vault. How many spots would I vault him up? Actually, not that much. I got him pretty nicely ranked right now. I have Holmgren ahead of Jackson right now. I would bump Jackson ahead of Holmgren. Would I bump Jackson ahead of Jalen Johnson? Maybe. But for Garland, Doc, I've got him kind of low-dough ranked right now with the anticipation that I'll be moving him up. Do we have time for the point? He had surgery on the injured left big toe that caused him to miss the playoffs.
Where do you think Brewski will have Josh Giddey in the B150? I'm very curious to see that because I don't think he's really a Giddey lover like we are. And I think he still has concerns about his shooting percentage. And I think Brewski, I'm not speaking for Brewski because I haven't talked to him lately, especially about this. But I'm curious as to where he might be in Brewski's B150.
I mean, I don't
Andre
know.
Andre says he was high on him last year. I thought maybe I was just so high that nobody else was as high as me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm gonna have Andre look into that for us and get back to us.
I'm trying to I'm kind of looking at this right now. I've got Giddey end of the 3rd round, beginning of the 4th round. Again, I did centers, forwards, guards, and I'm going to build my top 100 or whatever off of that. But right now, I've got Giddey at my 14th guard. You know, Franz Wagner's my 14th forward. Walker Kessler is my 14th center. So that's 14, 28, that's 42 spots. So, he's safely in the top 4 rounds. And, maybe end of the third, fourth round is like a sweet spot, a wheelhouse, I think, for Josh Giddey. So, Doc, we got a little bit of time left here. And let's get into our top 5 point guards. Our next episode that will hit the air on Thursday, we're going to get into shooting guards, small forwards, power forward, centers. We're going to give you our top 5 rankings on those positions, and we'll get into some player debates as well. So give me your top 5 point guards, Doc. Rank them up.
Ooh, let me get back there. I was still caught up in Josh Giddey land. Yeah, I looked over these lists when this guide came out, and for point guards, I actually like the way that they are ranked. Like Andre gave us a list of all the good point guards, and the list, the order of the list is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then Luka Doncic, and then James Harden, and then it's Steph Curry, and then Cade Cunningham. But I'm gonna go Cade at number 4, and Curry at number 5. And I think you are going to have Tyrese Maxey in there somewhere. And I'd like to put Trey in my top 5, but I don't think there's room because I would take Maxey over Trey. So SGA, Luka, Harden, Cade, Curry. Oh, were we supposed to go one by one? I have no idea. My bad.
No, I don't know. We didn't really talk about it. I think you're fine, Doc. You went SGA, Luka, Harden, Cade, Curry. Before I give you my list, Doc, I gotta SGA over Luka surprises me. You're a huge Luka guy.
It surprises me too. Like push comes to shove, I'm probably taking Luka. But it's hard to argue what SGA did last year. Now you think, I think based on our past conversations, you're a little concerned about the Thunder reeling people in this year, right? And
like 5 games. 5 games. Yeah, I'm not saying that these guys are going to miss 15 more games. I could see 5 more DNPs for J-Dub, SGA, and Chet than we saw last year or the year before. That's it.
I'm changing my list. Put Luka number 1 for me and SGA number 2 because if we were drafting right now, I'm taking Luka. If we're doing one draft, one league, and I get the 3rd pick, I'm taking Luka. Thank you for calling me out on that. It's July what, 16th?
Yeah, I just want to clarify, man. You can
no, you're right. I'm taking Luka.
So you go Luka, SGA, Harden, Cade, Curry.
Yes.
I go Luka, SGA, Trey, Cade, Maxey. So we both have Cade in our top 5. And you have Harden and Curry. I have Trey and Maxey. Neither of us have Booker. Are you considering Booker? I guess we got to vet that. Like, the way I do it is on my depth charts. Like, it's where you're playing this year. Like Tyler Hero's a shooting guard, right? But he's the point guard of the Miami Heat. Why am I blanking? Devin Booker is a shooting guard, right? But this year he's going to be the point guard of the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? So, like, were you thinking about Booker for this, or are you thinking about Booker when in the shooting guard list?
Booker's on our shooting guard list, so that's where I was.
Copy that.
Him.
Copy that. Cool.
But it's a good point. I mean, I am a big fan of position flexibility, and anytime a guy gets 2 positions or 3 positions, it's a big deal to me because in the leagues It just makes it easier to set lineups. Like there's nothing worse than having to bench a guy because he doesn't qualify at the position you have open, and you have an open roster spot. Like there's nothing worse than that. So, and Jalen Williams last year getting center along with shooting guard, small forward, and power forward was money. So Booker being a point guard and shooting guard, I'm all for it.
In some leagues, you might even get a little SF with D Book. You may get PG, SG, and SF. But he should, at the very least, be a PG, SG. He's probably been that already, but should be. All right, so we'll do Booker when we do the shooting guards, and that'll be in our next episode. So we both have Luka, then SGA. Again, I go Trey. I'm just because I keep trying to knock Trey down from that spot, and I can't, dude. I can't. 24 points, 3 threes, 12 assists, 1.2 steals. I mean, it's just a fat stat line. It's not. There are better overall stat lines, but dang, those assists are so difference-making, man. He's the only guy rocking that many assists, the only guy in the league. He'll probably lead the league in assists by like 2 per game this year, Doc, because Halliburton's out. Jimmy Harden, he's going to be at like 9. Kate will be at like 9. Jokic will be at like right at 10, right? And Trey's going to be up here at 11.5 or 12. So I can't. These guys, they can come. They ain't going to get him.
So you don't have Harden in your 5, do you?
I do not. I've got Maxey.
You got Maxey and Trey. Your list is sexier than my list. I like Trey and I like Maxey in that list. I don't love Curry being in mine. I'm going to be honest. Harden, I'm sticking with. Harden was good to me last year, and I don't see why he's not going to be the same guy again this year. But Curry, like that Golden State team, is just kind of weird. So I'm not going to change it. But if we were doing an actual draft, I would probably draft Trey over Curry. So we'll get back to me in September.
I love it. We just rock and roll through the offseason, guys. And we have come to the end of this here episode. Like I said, in our next episode, we'll get to shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers. And we'll get into some player debates as well. Some like ugly, grim ones, and then some kind of sexy ones. Want you to go check out our fantasy football draft guide. It includes the best ball coverage in the market, an unbeatable draft tracker. John Mazalis is leading a team of studs, including me. I got the college football side covered. I've already ranked the QBs, the running backs, the wide receivers, and the tight ends. With some more content to come. It's only $6 a month, guys, and you can get up to 60% off right now at sportsethos.com. Sportsethos.com, $6 a month, 60% off right now. The Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Give us a follow, guys, at Sports Ethos on Twitter, at Ethos Fantasy NBA, at Rick Kamla Sports, at Dr. A, and that's Doc Tora, as I like to say, but it's Doc like outside by the lake, and then Tora, and then at Aaron Brewski. That's 2 A's in BRUSKI. Also, give Andre a follow. Come on, give Andre a follow at ANDMLEMOS and M Lemouche. And we out. All right, we will see you again on Thursday with all the stuff that I just said is going on. Andre said, don't follow me. So, all right, don't follow Andre, but follow us. And we'll see you very, very soon here. Bye.